Hello explorers, welcome to httravel, where we hunt for the most vivid, crazy, and beautiful stories on the planet. Today, we set foot in Australia, the strangest continent on Earth, where churches and bars are hidden deep underground, Christmas is bright in the middle of summer, and the quokkas are dubbed the happiest animals in the world that will make you smile. This is where the Red Desert tells ancient stories, more than 10,000 beaches sparkle like gems, and the roads have funny names that seem to come out of cartoons. Australia is more than just a destination, it is a state of mind, where nature, culture, and freedom blend into a symphony like no other. Are you ready to explore a country that breaks all the conventional rules? Type 1 in the comment to prepare yourself, hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and embark on an adventure to the most magical continent on the planet. Australia, also known as the Commonwealth of Australia, is the only island continent on Earth, isolated in the southern hemisphere, a world apart in the middle of the deep blue ocean. With an area of over 7.7 million square kilometers, 30 times the size of New York State, and larger than Europe, it is the sixth largest country in the world. But surprisingly, it has only about 26.9 million inhabitants, expected in 2025, creating a super low population density of just 3.5 people/km superscript 2. Imagine driving for hours through the desert without passing a soul, just kangaroos hopping across the road and endless skies. Australia's nature is a picture of contrasts. The scorching red outback desert, where temperatures can reach 50 degrees Celsius, sits next to the ancient, damp, leafy Daintree rainforest. In the south, the snow-capped mountains of the Australian Alps are blanketed in winter, while more than 10,000 beaches range from rugged cliffs to sandy coves. Australia's climate is equally diverse, from the humid tropics in the north, where the rainforest rains pour down, to the pleasant temperate south, with glorious summers from December to February, when Aussies are beaching while the rest of the world wraps up in woolen scarves. The official language is Australian English, with its relaxed style and unique slang like mate, arvo, and brekkie. If an Australian says, "No worries, mate, grab a coldie," they're inviting you to grab a cold beer without a worry. Australia's population is a multicultural mosaic. More than 25% are immigrants from Britain, Italy, China, India, and the Middle East, creating a diverse but harmonious society. In particular, the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities, with 65,000 years of history, stories, dances, and ancient rock art, are the world's oldest living culture. As the world's 13th largest economy, with a GDP of around $1.7 trillion, 2025, Australia is a leader in mining, like opal and gold, organic agriculture, wool, beef, wheat, and ecotourism, attracting millions of visitors each year. But what really makes Australia special is the spirit of its people, simple living, a love of nature, and always ready to share a story over a beer or a cup of coffee. Imagine sitting in a small cafe in Melbourne, listening to a local tell the story of their first surf trip. That's Australia, where every moment is full of life. Imagine a town where the world lives underground, like a sci-fi movie about a colony on Mars. That's Coober Pedy, the most unusual gem in the South Australian desert. With summer temperatures often exceeding 45 degrees Celsius, and sand so hot it can melt the soles of your shoes, the 1,500+ residents have found a unique solution, digging dugout homes deep into the cool earth. These homes are more than just homes, they're masterpieces, with living rooms carved from rock, churches with natural domes, neon-lit bars, and even the 4-star Desert Cave Hotel, opened in 1981, where you can sleep in a luxury cave with plush beds and fast Wi-Fi. Coober Pedy is the opal capital of the world, producing 95% of the world's commercial opal, the sparkling gems that come in every color of the rainbow. Here, finding opal is no pipe dream. Many people have dug up stones worth tens of thousands of dollars right in their backyards. Meet Old Tom, a 70-year-old miner with a stoic face and a bright smile. He tells of how in 1995 he found an opal worth $100,000 in his vegetable garden, enough to buy a new house underground, of course. Every pickaxe is an opportunity in Coober Pedy, he says, his eyes sparkling like opals. There's more to the town than gems. At night, when the sun sets and the temperature drops, residents gather in underground bars, sip cold beers, and tell tales of life-changing opals or days spent battling the desert. Coober Pedy has been the setting for films such as Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome and Pitch Black, thanks to its arid, red, alien-like landscape. If you're here, try an opal mine tour, where you can dig for your own rock, or sit in an underground cafe and listen to the stories of veteran miners. Coober Pedy is more than just a destination, it's a testament to human resilience in the face of harsh natural conditions. Australian women are more than just beautiful, they are symbols of freedom, strength, and adventure. On the bustling streets of Sydney, the arty alleys of Melbourne, or the seaside town of Byron Bay, you will see women with tan skin, bright smiles, and a vibrant style, dresses that flutter in the sea breeze, dusty sneakers, wide-brimmed hats to protect against the sun, and no makeup to shine. They are the ones who surf on Bondi Beach at dawn, drive jeeps through the outback desert to stargaze, or manage big projects in Sydney's skyscrapers in the afternoon. These are Australian women, the modern-day cowgirls. Australia has one of the highest rates of female university graduates in the world, with more than a third of small businesses owned by women, from a small cafe in Adelaide to a cattle station in Queensland. It also made history as the first G20 country to have a female Prime Minister, Julia Gillard, from 2010 to 2013, who has inspired gender equality around the world. Australian women aren't afraid to make the first move. They might text first, ask you out to dinner, or just straight up ask, "Do you like me?" with an irresistible smile. Recent surveys show that more than 60% of Australian women are open to dating foreigners, especially from the US, UK, and Italy, because they love diversity and new stories. Meet Sophie, a 28-year-old surfer from Bondi Beach. Last year, she drove 2,000 kilometers through the outback to attend a music festival in Alice Springs, just because I want to live life to the fullest. When asked about dating, she laughs, "If I like someone, I invite them to surf with me, that's how I test whether they're compatible." Plus, Australian women have a strong sense of community. In small towns, they run programs to support Aboriginal women in their apprenticeships, or donate to wildlife conservation organizations. Want tips on how to make friends or date Australian women? Australian culture is a feast of chaos, color and emotion, where all the usual rules are broken. With summer falling in December, Christmas in Australia has no snow or fireplaces. Instead, people gather on sparkling beaches, have BBQs, roast beef, prawns and barramundi, play volleyball in the golden sunshine, and sing Christmas songs with guitars. Imagine sitting on the sand, the smell of barbecue mixed with the sound of waves, and a local handing you a cold beer. "Cheers, mate." That's Christmas Australian style. Plus, Vivid Sydney, the Southern Hemisphere's largest light festival, turns Sydney Harbour into a dazzling stage with lasers, 3D technology, and music, attracting over 2 million visitors each year. Buildings, from the Opera House to the Harbour Bridge, are covered in layers of vibrant light, like a moving painting. In Melbourne, the Mumba Festival is a unique street carnival where people dress up in the most outrageous costumes, from paper superheroes to inflatable dinosaurs, that will make you laugh and want to join in. If you love music, the Woodford Folk Festival in Queensland is a giant outdoor world, with thousands of performances ranging from traditional folk, jazz, to modern rock, spanning several days, attracting tens of thousands of people from all over the world. Next, the sound of the didgeridoo, a traditional Aboriginal musical instrument, is the soul of Australian culture. Made from a naturally hollowed-out eucalyptus tree trunk, each didgeridoo produces a unique, deep sound, as if echoing thousands of years ago. During the Dreamtime Festival, the didgeridoo tells Aboriginal creation stories without words, connecting people to the earth and their ancestors. NASA has studied its vibrations and found that it improves breathing, especially for snorers. From street performances in Sydney to international festivals, the didgeridoo is a symbol of Australian resilience and soul. Meet Koala, an Aboriginal performer in Darwin, who says, "When I play the didgeridoo, I feel my ancestors standing beside me, telling stories through me." Australia is home to over 10,000 beaches, a staggering number. If you visited one every day, it would take you over 27 years to visit them all. Each beach has its own story. Bondi Beach in Sydney, just a few kilometers from the city centre, is an icon of the Australian lifestyle, where surfers ride big waves, runners jog along the sand, and the Bondi Iceberg swimming pool has become a popular check-in spot, where you can swim in saltwater as the waves crash over you. Just 30 minutes by ferry from Sydney, Manly Beach is more laid-back, ideal for swimming, kayaking, or relaxing at luxury resorts like Sebel Sydney Manly Beach, where you can sip coffee and listen to the waves. What's more, Hahndorf Beach in Jervis Bay is recognized by Guinness as having the whitest sand in the world, so fine it's like powder, and so bright it makes you squint in the sunlight. Meet Lucas, a Bondi surf instructor, who says, "I grew up on the beach. Every morning I come out here, ride a wave, and feel like all is right with the world." Australian beaches aren't just places to relax, they're hubs of culture, from international surfing competitions to family BBQs. If you head to Bondi on a weekend, you'll see hundreds of people gathered, from kids building sandcastles to old people sunbathing. Plus, the eco-resorts near Hahndorf Beach blend in with the natural landscape, with small bungalows nestled in the shade of trees, making you feel like you're living in a painting. Australia also has its fair share of hidden gems, like Whitehaven Beach in the Whitsunday Islands, where white sand and turquoise water form a magical swirl of color. Australian beaches aren't just places to swim, they're places to find freedom and connection with nature. Beyond the beaches, Australia is home to natural wonders that will make you think you're on another planet. Lake Hillier in Western Australia is a cotton candy-coloured lake nestled between lush green forest and blue sea. Scientists haven't fully explained the mysterious hue, but theorize that microalgae and salt are responsible. What's more, Queensland's Daintree rainforest, at over 180 million years old, older than the Amazon, is a world of giant trees, vibrant butterflies, and crocodiles lurking in the rivers. Hiking through the Daintree will make you hear birdsong, leaves rustling, and feel like you've stepped into prehistoric times. Next, Tasmania's glowworm caves are an underground wonder where thousands of glowing glowworms create a fairy tale-like starry sky. And then there's Uluru, a giant 348 tall sandstone monolith in Uluru-Kata-Chuta National Park, the spiritual center of the Anangu Aboriginal people. Uluru isn't just a rock, it changes color, from a fiery orange at sunrise to a deep red at sunset, as if breathing with nature. Meet Alyssa, an Aboriginal guide at Uluru, who shares, "Every crack on Uluru has a story. Our ancestors carved it into the rock to remind us of the earth and the sky." Plus, the Great Barrier Reef, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is the world's largest marine ecosystem, stretching over 2,300 kilometers, with thousands of species of fish, sea turtles, and vibrant corals. If you dive into the Great Barrier Reef, you will see a vibrant underwater world, like a painting of everlasting color. These wonders are not just beautiful, they are a reminder of the wonder of our planet. Australia boasts a trio of heart-melting icons: the kangaroo, the koala, and the quokka. The kangaroo, the national symbol, appears on the coat of arms, currency, and the Qantas airline logo. Capable of jumping up to 30 feet and reaching speeds of up to 37 miles per hour, kangaroos represent the spirit of forward motion, as they cannot move backward, a philosophy that Australians hold dear. Furthermore, koalas, despite their nicknames, are actually marsupials that live primarily in eucalyptus trees and sleep up to 20 hours a day on a low-energy leaf diet. The magic. Koala fingerprints are so similar to those of humans that they can be mistaken under a microscope, a mystery that has scientists intrigued. Next up, the quokka, the happiest animal in the world, which lives mainly on Rottnest Island near Perth, is famous for its natural smile and friendliness. Selfies with quokkas have become a global phenomenon, with thousands of tourists flocking to Rottnest just to get a picture. Meet Ella, a volunteer quokka keeper, who says, "They're tiny, but their smiles make the world happy. I once saw a tourist cry with joy after hugging a quokka." All three species are more than just adorable, they're tourism ambassadors, promoting Australia to the world. Imagine you're walking on Rottnest Island, a quokka hops up to you, looks at you with a big grin, what would you do? The Australian way of life revolves around nature, and nothing epitomizes that more than the sacred national ritual of the barbecue. From birthdays to Christmases to spontaneous Saturday afternoons, Aussies gather in pristine parks, where thousands of free electric grills are ready to go. Just bring your beef, prawns, barramundi, oysters, or even chocolate-covered bananas, press a button, and the party begins. What's more, BBQing in Australia isn't just about food, it's an art. Flip the meat too hard. You'll be teased as a barbecue newbie, and shown how to hold the tongs properly. A cold can of craft beer is a must-have companion, along with laughter and stories. Meet Liam, a Sydney street chef who hosts free BBQs for homeless people every month. BBQs are our way of saying welcome without words, he says. I once saw a stranger get invited, and by the end of the day, he had a new group of friends. What's more, the spirit of mate, genuine friendship, is at the heart of Australian culture. If an Australian invites you to throw another shrimp on the barbie, it's not just an invitation to eat, it's a sign that you've been accepted into the family. BBQs are inclusive, from suburban families to CEOs in the park. Everyone shares a plate of meat and a smile. Imagine sitting by the grill, the smell of smoke, the sound of the ocean in the distance, and a local hands you a plate of grilled shrimp, mate. Australia is a melting pot of cultures that tell unique stories. Visit Hahndorf, Australia's oldest German village, founded in 1839 in South Australia by immigrants from Prussia. Hahndorf is a slice of Bavaria in the heart of Australia, with red brick houses, white timber windows, and colorful hanging baskets of flowers. The locals are so friendly that you can stop to ask for directions and end up having a long conversation over traditional pastries or the best craft beer. The family-run shops, from handmade candles and leather goods to a bakery with 19th-century recipes, make you feel like you're living in a different era. Plus, Hahndorf hosts festivals like the Australian Oktoberfest, with German beer, sausages, and accordion music, or the summer Christmas market, where you can shop for handmade gifts in the sunshine. Don't miss the Cedars, the gallery of artist Hans Heisen, who paints epic Australian landscapes from desert to rainforest. Next, coffee is at the heart of the Australian way of life. The flat white, a smooth, milky coffee that was invented in Sydney in the 1980s, has taken over the world, from Melbourne's small coffee shops to Starbucks menus. Australians pride themselves on their artisanal coffee culture, where baristas roast beans fresh daily and remember customers' names and preferences. With more than 2 billion cups of coffee consumed each year among a population of just 26 million, coffee is more than just a beverage, it's the start of every day. Meet Isabella, a Melbourne barista who says, "I make coffee like I tell a story, every cup is a smile I send to the customer." In Australia, you can walk into a small coffee shop, order a flat white, and be greeted like you've known someone. Canberra, Australia's capital, is a parkland-like city, with wide avenues, tree-lined parks, and traffic so quiet you can hear the birds singing in the centre. Not as noisy as Sydney or as flashy as Melbourne, Canberra has a simple elegance, with people in suits cycling to work, Queenslander homes with spacious verandas, and lively farmers' markets on weekends. Museums like the National Gallery of Australia, with its collection of Aboriginal art, or Case Taken, where kids and adults alike are fascinated by science experiments, are highlights. At night, Lake Burley Griffin comes into focus, with lights reflecting off the water, perfect for strolling, cycling, or listening to live music in a cozy pub. Furthermore, Sydney and Melbourne are two of Australia's gems. Sydney boasts the Opera House, a UNESCO heritage site, a sail-like architectural masterpiece that hosts thousands of performances every year. Melbourne, recognized by UNESCO as a city of literature, is a paradise for street art, with alleyways covered in murals and a vibrant cafe culture. Next, Australian street names are a unique comedy show. Names like Nowhere Else, Mount Boogery, Eggs and Bacon Bay, or Looney Tunes Lane make you laugh, as if Australians intentionally turned the map into a joke book. The Come By Chance street sign in New South Wales is so frequently stolen as souvenirs that the government has to replace it 5 to 10 times a year. Meet Tom, a bus driver in Sydney, who says, "I used to take tourists to nowhere else, and they took pictures as if they had found treasure." Australia, the land of wonder, where the red deserts tell ancient tales, the beaches sparkle like jade, and the Quokka smiles melt the heart. We've traversed underground Coober Pedy, met free-spirited cowgirls, been to the Festival of Lights, and enjoyed BBQs under the blue sky. From the ancestral didgeridoo sounds, the humorously named streets, to the flat white to start the day, Australia is a mosaic of nature, culture, and adorable madness. Uluru changes color, the lakes are pink, and there are over 10,000 beaches waiting to be explored. What do you love most about Australia? Share in the comments Bondi Beach, the Quokka smiles, or the taste of Tim Tams. If this journey has you dreaming of Australia, hit like, subscribe to httravel, and ring the bell to keep the adventure going. The world is out there in all its beauty and weirdness. See you soon, keep exploring, asking questions, and living life to the fullest.